I've seen this pattern over and over again. Within the first 90 days, you can really tell if a realtor is going to succeed or not in this business. Today, I want to talk to you about exactly what are some of those patterns that I've noticed on the agents that succeed within their first 90 days. Hey, everybody, this is Amanda. I am a local realtor here in the Seattle area, and I am very passionate about supporting other agents and helping them out. So if you ever consider in wondering and asking more questions, you're feeling like you need guidance or you're feeling stuck, book a call with me at Top Agent Wolfpack, and I'll love to connect with you. But today, it is a hot topic. So the first thing I want to talk about it is your consistency in those first 90 days. It's absolutely crucial if you're getting started. You have to think about that, you are learning a lot of things, but your consistency, creating those habits in the beginning, it will definitely show your success rate for that upcoming year joining into the real estate world. So think about you have to create a schedule, and it is honestly as simple as it sounds, because we try to overcomplicate it. Know exactly what your day is going to look like, especially if you are a full-time agent. You used to go to maybe a job prior to this, I don't know, depending your age, that you're like clocking in at 8 a.m., clocking out at 5 p.m., and you had a series of activities that you needed to do during the day. And here it's not different. The only difference is now you're the boss. So definitely creating those habits on the first 90 days is going to scale your business for the rest of the year. So I highly recommend, staying focused, creating a calendar, knowing what activities you want to do in the beginning. And you can say, Amanda, there's so many things I can do. I get it. But just pick one thing for those first 90 days. You're not going to be able to all of a sudden learn every single activities and lead generation that it's possible in real estate, especially if you are in this game on the long term. Eventually you'll learn and get to try some of those other areas if it makes sense for your business. But right now, just focus in simplicity and just being consistent, creating good habits, showing up for yourself every single day so that you can get results quickly. Number two, that I think it's so crazy how this happens. You're so excited, get your license, you join a brokerage, and then all of a sudden, you don't ask for help and you start hiding. And happens more often than I could actually realize, especially in those first 90 days. You want to show up every single day. If you have questions, ask your mentors, ask your managing broker. You join a brokerage for a reason, right? So if they're not providing that support, I'm sorry, I'm going to be cut to the straightforward, then you're in the wrong place. Move on quickly. Don't try to give a chance. If they're not helping now, they're not going to help you later. So just move on. But if you are in the place, that make sure you're asking for help. Don't hide. Don't all of a sudden you're all excited. And again, I've talked to so many agents that this happened. They'll tell me they're so excited, they join and then they disappear. They don't show up to the meetings. They are not showing up to themselves. And then they're hiding. This is not like, nobody's here to be, slapping your hand and say you're doing wrong, you're doing bad. At least that should be not the environment that you're in it. So make sure you are showing up. You are, asking for help, and because leaders want to build other leaders, and you cannot be a leader if you're staying quiet on the corner and hiding, because a leader don't have time to be looking every part of the room to make sure everybody, it's like, are you here? Are you showing up? So you have to make yourself known. Don't hide. Ask questions, be, resourceful as well, right? Learn something, try to practice that. Also, just don't ask for information and then don't do anything. That's probably the worst thing also you can do. And you're going to get a leader very turn off very quickly on you if all you want is just information, but you don't put anything to practice. How do I do an open house? And then you don't do any open houses. Oh, how do I do cold calling? How do I reach out to my sphere? And then in the end of the week, you never reach out to anybody, right? So let's be honest and practical here, because I want you to be successful on your first 90 days. Another one I want to talk to you about it just, following a structure. The easiest you make that for you in the beginning, this is going to be like almost a magic, throughout your career and especially your first year. Just taking that little time to create a structure, know, what are the system that you're going to be using it. Again, I know that depending on the brokers you got, they might have so many things you need, available to you and trainings available to you. But what do you really need? You don't need to know how to put, a contract on a in your on your transaction desk or anything like that if you don't have a transaction. So stop wasting time in things that you have not done that yet. Right now, you need a structure of like when your day starts, when your day ends, how many hours are you willing to put into the business? What is your lead generations? What are your team meetings? Because again, we're talking about that before. Don't hide, be present, because then you can ask questions. So if there's meetings already there, it's for you to show up. This is another thing too that I see a lot of new agents will do, is that they don't show up to any meetings and they just keep asking questions to leaders, sending text messages and all of that. I would say, obviously, a good leader might still reply to your text, but there are meetings in place to equip you, to help you. So that's the reason they are there. So if you're showing up and then now you are still reaching out with questions, there's just a whole different sense of how that leader is seeing you because of how you're showing up. You're present, you're there, you're hungry. So they want to engage and teach you. So again, I would say creating that structure, knowing what your day's going to look like, creating your follow-up system. These are all things that is just foundation that it's so critical as you're getting started in the beginning. Put a little break in all the noise. It doesn't matter, what this agent here is doing, that other agent is there doing. Everything works with consistency and kind of following up all the things that I'm talking about to you. So let's focus in that one thing, build a structure, and go take action. Another area that it's, I definitely, did hit my head on this one in the beginning. Just, the emotional control and resilience in this business. One of the things you're going to face very, early on into this business is going to be rejection. Not everybody you talk to is going to say yes to you. And this can be family members, friends, relatives, co-workers, whatever, just people that, especially the people that So again, I definitely was a lot more emotional in the beginning and I got better, but my resilience was there. I have to say that, I need to give myself credit because I had days that I cried. I had days that I had close friends of mine buy or sell with other realtors that they had no relationship with. And it was very hurtful. But, I was able to today, if that happens for me, it's just a transaction, I move on. But, when that happened, it was very emotional, but I didn't let that stop me for continue to showing up for myself, for my business every single day, because I still close a lot of deals in my, in my first 5 months, I already had 5 deals closed, right? So it's not that these situations didn't happen for me. It's just that I didn't focus on them. I did had a day, as I said, I cried, but I was just like, I moved on, and it does get easier the more you do it. So again, that emotional state and resilience is going to be something very important for you to work on in the very beginning, having a strong mindset. And what all of this, it's so brilliant how this all tied up. Again, if you're showing up to your, to your team meetings and you feeding positivity, good things, strategies. So you're showing up every day. And then now you go hit a wall because someone maybe rejected you. You are definitely going to feel a little bit more stronger. But now you join a brokerage, you don't show up, you don't ask questions, you hide. And then you go, when you finally get the courage and you send a message and someone rejects you, now you're probably like going to be a month, under the covers just crying because, someone said no to you. So all of these things are tied and they're so important for your success. So definitely, work on that emotional, work on the mindset, whatever that may be for you, if it's books and if it's a podcast, and also the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And this, when I say people surround yourself with, I'm not even talking about your family. or even friends, because if they're in different industry, they might not understand your hustle. So, which is totally okay. It took me a while to understand that in the beginning, because yes, I had my family supporting me, but sometimes they either wouldn't understand all the hours I was doing or how much I was posting and other things, so you don't have to feel like you need to explain that to nobody. Get yourself a coach, be coachable, and you have success in this business. And as I was just been kind of talking about, like, just that ownership of mindset, success can and will come early on if you are, creating a good foundation for you in the beginning. And as I said that again, if you are in a place that even if the people are nice, but you're not getting what you need to be, wearing that CEO hat that I talk about all the time and move on. Make decisions that is going to work for your business. And it doesn't mean you need to burn bridges. It doesn't mean you need to, not cultivate good relationships, but you need to make sure you're getting what you need for your business and to take to the next level. So your mindset is going to be so important. What are you listening to? Who are the people that are, in your life that you're allowing to speak into you? Who are the leaders and, other realtors that are in your life that it's, speaking to you into your business? So those things are super important. And then what you can control. What are you speaking to yourself, right? What are you looking in the mirror? You are learning a lot of new things. So definitely give yourself some grace and credit that you are in a new journey. Nonetheless, hold yourself accountable, because nobody will. Some people are there to see your success. Others are just wanting to see like how long you're going to do that. And you know what I mean. So, I think these steps are going to definitely help you, set up a quick foundation for your first 90 days to be extremely successful in this business. It is planting seeds. You're planting seeds now for the upcoming months. So, I trust that you are going to take some action, that you're going to be, creating a good structure, eliminating the noise, working on your mindset. And if there's anything I can ever do, definitely schedule a call with me. Just go to topagentwolfpack.com and there's a link to my calendar. And I'll love to help and guide you in this industry. I love real estate, and I feel like one of the things that I learned and brought with me from just my business background and tech background of working the corporate world is just like, being a manager for so long. I loved helping people, with their career goals. And this is like something that I'm just that passion is just transferring here now into real estate. I want to see you succeed. I want to see, 2026 is the best year yet for you and for your business.